Brandy's Cards. I'm so excited to be here. It has been a crazy week for me. So thank you for being here, and please say hi. Let us know where you're from. I would love to see who's in here with me tonight, and I would also love to know if you're a new stamper with us, because we'd love to get to know you as well, and we want you to jump right in. We just like to all meet up and have fun, don't we? So I just have to say thank you for being here. Today is, what is today, Friday, February 26th of 2021. It's 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you are here after that time, then you're probably watching the replay, and I sure hope that you enjoy that as well. So it has been a crazy week here. We have, both boys are now in soccer in the evenings, and so we have 2 hours of soccer practice every single night of the week, and it's crazy, along with tutors and music lessons. And so I'm just kind of going here and there, and I think I've even talked to a couple of you guys on the phone while I'm driving en route back and forth. So, but it's just been a lot of fun, and but it's been a crazy week, really, really crazy. So I'm just really excited to be here. So if I seem a little bit frazzled, well, that's just kind of how the week has gone. So I'm going to look down. Hi, Creations by Tina. Thank you for being here. Kathy. Hi, Mackie. And Diana. Susan's in here. Hi, Susan. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. Lisa and Denise, welcome. I am so, I love being here, and I get emails from you guys as well saying, hey, are we doing another Friday night? So to know that you look forward to it too just makes my heart so happy. So thank you again for being here. All right, so I'm excited to get crafting, so we best get down to business. We have a winner to announce, and the winner for the Nothing's Better Than bundle. This was the bundle that I shared last weekend, right? Last Friday. And I told you guys that I would pick a random comment and that person would win this bundle. But I'm not gonna tell you yet. No. I know, that was not very nice, was it? No, I am gonna tell you, but not right now. So anyway, I hope that our winner is here to join us today, but I do have her name written down, so I'm really excited about that. Also, I wanted to share with you the blending brushes. The blending brushes are one of my host code gifts this month, and they've been hugely popular, so I'm super excited about that. But I have some news for you. The blending brushes just went into non-orderable status. Yeah, so I can't order them until March 29th if they come in on that date. So really basically April, that week in April, that first week. So I just want you to know that if you have blending brushes as a host code gift and you're waiting for them, I'm not going to be able to send those until I can get my hands on some, until I can get some ordered. So that'll be, the week of April 1st is when that'll be. And then I'll get those shipped to me, and then I promise you I'll get them out to you as soon as I possibly can. All right? Okay, so what else do I have to talk about? The Creative 8 Retreat. The Creative 8 Retreat is coming up super quick. It's March 27th. It's a full day of crafting. I've had several questions about what do we need to bring, and what bundles are you guys gonna use? Well, the good news is we make projects that we want you to go to your crafting space and pull a stamp set that you have, or pull designer series paper that you have. So we don't want you to have an extra expense to go buy all the stuff we're using, because that's not what it's about. We want to make those projects generic enough that you can case them with what you have in your craft room. So this is a fun virtual online crafting event through Facebook. And it's going to start at 10 a.m. and it goes all the way through, like 9 o'clock at night. So it is a full day, but you don't have to be there the whole time. Of course, you have access to the videos and things afterwards. And I also send you the links to the tutorials and the videos as well. So if you haven't registered for the Creative 8 Retreat and you would like to, just go over to BrandysCards.com, and in the navigational bar, you'll see Creative 8 Retreat. It's really a lot of fun, and for those of you who have joined us in the past, I would love for you to share your experience. I think sometimes when you're a beginner stamper, it's like, well, I don't really know anybody, and is this going to work for me? It's really a lot of fun. It's just a really fun day. So I hope that you can join us, and I really appreciate you registering with me and for checking it out. All right, so I see Michelle's in here from sunny Oklahoma. I'm so happy that you've got some sunshine. We had some sunshine here a couple of days ago, and Amanda and I were just dancing around the office. We turned on some really fun music, and we were just had this serious pep in our step. And then today it's like cold and rainy. So, you know, but I'm looking forward to the sun, you know, to being out again here soon too. All right, hi, Miss Marcia. Hi, Patty, Mama Patty. She's in here too, so I'm glad that you're here. Okay, what else do I have to share with you? Don't forget, if you haven't commented in the 10 and 20 video that I did, I think that was back on February 5th. I've got the Butterfly Brilliance bundle that I'm giving away. It's actually Butterfly Bouquet. Absolutely stunning, stunning bundle. Now, for some of you have emailed me and said, where do I get the numbers or the item codes for that bundle? If you go to BrandysCards.com and you click on blog, you'll see the cards that I designed and that I shared with you that, that weekend, and you'll be able to see all the item codes. You'll be able to download the flyer and that sort of thing. That bundle goes live March 2nd. So we're all really excited about that. Yes, absolutely, because I could only get my hands on one bundle. So I'm excited to pick a winner from the comments in that video and to send one of y'all that, that bundle as well. Hi, Angela and Susan. Hi, Kathy. Thank you guys for being in here. So happy that y'all are here. So today, did you guys get a sneak peek of the picture, the thumbnail that Doug had sent? Yeah, today we're going to use the Simply Succulents Stamp Set. Oh my gosh, it is off the charts. Now, I'm going to do some watercoloring for you, and I'm not a pro at watercoloring. So what I'm trying to say is I'm just going for it, and I'm having fun. And I think that I've created some cards that I think that you can replicate and that you would enjoy. And you don't have to be a professional watercolorer. You just got to go for it and give it a try. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. So hi, Vicki Steele. Thank you for being in here. I'm going to step next door and I'm going to get myself set up and we are going to get started stamping. I am super, super excited. So here we go. This is the Simply Succulents bundle. And you can see here that this beautiful, let me get my computer too. Now, I just want to let you know that I have Amanda in here as well as Priscilla. So hello, Priscilla. I'm so happy that you're here as well. And thank you for helping answer some questions. Amanda is also doing that. So thank you, Amanda. Yeah, thank you for being here. So the ladies are in here. I can't, I don't necessarily see all those questions and can't read the comments as I'm talking. So Amanda and Priscilla are here to help me do that. All right, so this bundle is absolutely fantastic, off the charts. So, you know, these dies coordinate with your stamp set. They're absolutely fantastic. There is a die that goes right here. It's missing, but that's because I have got, well, it did some work for me today, and it's kind of hanging out, waiting to share with you. All right, so I'm going to take this aside, and we're going to go ahead and pull in this image here. So I just want to make sure that I am centered here with my camera. All right, so it looks like I am. So here we go. What I have done is I have taken some of our watercolor paper. So I have some watercolor paper, and I have chosen Stays On. And I'm doing Stays On because I'm going to watercolor, and I'm going to use my aqua painter as well as my stamping, my blender pen. All right, so I'm going to use those two items today, and I have inked up this stamp. And so, whoop, there's a little plastic piece on there. So you're going to ink this guy up really good, right? Lots of ink on there. You want to get it. I actually put a little bit more on there. in the stamp pad so that it was nice and juicy. I wanted it to be nice and juicy today. So we're going to just stamp it down on our watercolor paper. Okay. Oh, such a beautiful image. Wow. Okay. So I get so excited. I have to tell you, I really do. So here we go. We have our image. And now what I'm going to do is I have some water where I was coloring a little bit ago, and I've got my water, my water painter, which has water in it, but I like to have extra water on the side. So you certainly don't have to, but I like it. So I do. And I have a block. Now the block is in the event or the case that I want to take a reinker, and I can drop a few, little drops of reinker on my my block, right? And then I can pick up some of the ink. Now, what you're going to want to do is run this through your cut and emboss machine, right? And after you do that, you get a nice image. So I'm going to set that aside. I've already done that because I knew that our watercoloring today, and I knew we were going to have a lot of fun doing this, and it might take us a little while. So I went ahead and sort of prepared that ahead of time. So I think I'm going to do a paper towel instead. And so you're also going to want some scrap paper. Now your scrap paper is to kind of wipe off some of the color, when you're using your blender pen or your water painter. So I'm just going to kind of put those there. All right, so let's get started. I'm excited. So here we go. I will be honest with you, I don't have a green thumb. I don't know much about succulents, but I know that I can keep them alive. So I get really excited about that. But I looked at a lot of pictures online of succulents, and I saw all kinds of beautiful colors like rich raspberry and the garden greens and the shades of greens and the shades of kind of bluish purples. And so I printed off some pictures, and I decided that I was just going to start to play. So your water painter has water in it, right? I'm going to move that in case now they twist kind of backwards really. You're going to fill that guy full of water, and then you're going to twist it back on. And the biggest thing here is that you just have to be careful. If you keep squeezing, you're going to squeeze water out, and it's going to make you cranky if it lands on your project when you didn't want it to. So you just have to try to control how much you're squeezing, all right? So that is the key here. So I'm going to pick up some ink from my stamp set, or from my stamp pad, and I'm just going to get started here. I'm going to just kind of add a little bit of water. Now again, I want you to know that I am not, I don't watercolor all the time. I am not a professional watercolor by any stretch. But I can tell you that Stampin' Up! Gives us the tools enough that we can learn with practice, and we just go for it. Nobody knows what this is supposed to look like. So right now, I'm just adding a bit of water. That's what I'm doing. So I'm just adding a bit of water on top, and then I'm going to pick up some more ink from my stamp pad. So nothing extra needed, right? The ink is actually right there in that stamp pad. And so now that this paper has a bit of, water on it, I can kind of very gently move around my, my succulent. Now you could grab a darker green as well and kind of come in here and add some darker greens and shades. What I loved about this image is that it allowed me to get kind of creative with the colors and play with them. You have to remember, there's no right or wrong reason, no right or wrong way, not reason, but right or wrong way. I mean, heck, I did a video for y'all using watercolor pencils, and my husband's like, where's the water? I mean, just get in there and have fun, right? That is what crafting is all about, is just having fun with it. So you guys see how it's starting to come to life? Now, doing this, I will say, you have to have a little bit of patience because you're kind of going back and forth, but I love coloring. I love highlighting, and so I enjoy this process. I enjoy it quite a lot, really. And I like the lights and the darks, so it's really kind of starting to come alive. Now, if you have any questions, Amanda and Priscilla are in there to answer, but Amanda can also potentially ask me a few questions here and there while I'm coloring this, because it does take just a little bit longer, so hang tight with me. You know, originally I thought, well, I could have Dylan film this and we could speed it up, but then I thought, you know what, I want you to see truly, you know, because sometimes speeding it up is great, but I wanted you to truly see exactly how I was doing this. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to add a little water to my, or squeeze it, but I have a tendency to squeeze it onto my block, so I have a little water dot there. I'm going to kind of add some water to my watercolor paper over the image that I'm going to color Granny Apple Green. So I'm not sure if I actually shared that color with you, but this is Granny Apple Green. It's one of my favorites, absolutely. And remember, as you're kind of coloring, you could, you know, just kind of keep your brush going, because the more you kind of go, the lighter it's going to get. And so you're going to kind of be able to get those lights and darks in there, all right? And so this one here is honestly just a bit easier because, you know, it's, I don't know, it's just kind of, just a bunch of little leaves, I guess. So here, let me show you this. I'm going to clean this up because we're going to move on to another color here shortly. So I have my blender pen. So I use these kind of interchangeably, really. And you're going to want paper. I always recommend having some paper on the side. But if you touch your stamp pad, you get, you know, you add color, right? And so one thing that I recommend is taking this, and you can actually go in here for some of these highlights. And you can add, you know, a little bit of these darker shades or areas, you know, just kind of here and there, and kind of add those color, that darker color in there. Hi, Susie Meadows. I am so excited that you are here with me too today. Thank you for being here. I have so enjoyed watching Susie's videos as well. Susie does some tutorials on Facebook, and she does a fantastic job. And I have so enjoyed having, Dylan always tells me, make sure you subscribe and that you know, turn on the little thing so you know when somebody's live. And I have done that, and I'm generally on the computer when she does her Monday lives, and I always get to catch them. So I've thoroughly enjoyed watching you and your creativity. So kudos to you.
Brandy?
Yes, ma'am?
We had someone ask the question about the tip on the blender pen there. If it's a fine point.
Yep.
Or a medium point, kind of like, how would you say?
You know, well, well, when you say fine point, I think of like an ink pen, like a really, really fine point. But I like the fact that it is hard and that it is pointed and that I can get in little crevices, if you will, and I can be more deliberate. Whereas your water painter, oh my goodness, I always twist this thing the wrong way. It is so funny. Whereas your water painter is bristles, right? And so, you know, I can't necessarily control some of the spots as well as this. So I would say, yes, it's more of a fine tip for sure. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you asking and sharing that. Those are all little good tidbits, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I think you guys have the gist of it here. You could, like I said, I mean, I could just sit here and play for hours and make it absolutely perfect, but nobody knows what it looks like anyway, so it's perfect, right? Okay, so let's close our Granny Apple Green. And are y'all ready to move on to another color? Let's do that. Let's move on to Bermuda Bay. My last 4 videos, Bermuda Bay. Well, guess what? It's back. So how many of you guys, while I'm getting my, while I'm wetting my, I'm just going to kind of clean that off and add some clean fresh water. And I'm going to squeeze my pen to do that. How many of you watched the dragonfly video? Did anybody see the beautiful dragonflies and how I colored those? I am just wondering if you guys watched that. It was so much fun. I actually saw that card, the example of the Dragonfly Garden dragonflies, and it just was so like interesting. And I thought, okay, I have to figure this out to show you guys. I just had so much fun playing with that. So now, just like I did before, you saw that I went in and I added some water to kind of, and you can see I'm just getting wild and crazy in here, really. All right, I am just adding some color, and I like this like lighter Bermuda Bay, right? So I'm just not gonna, I don't want a full coverage, if you will, right? And so you can see here, going back in for some darker and deeper color, and just
lots of comments talking how much they loved the dragonfly video and
yay!
loved your colors that you did.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I had so much fun. Well, how cool is that? Thank you so much. I had so much fun, and Dylan did such a good job filming that. I have to tell you, this sweet boy, he filmed me after school at 4 o'clock. He set a date, and this director sets a date, he's like, Mom, are you ready? Mom, you need to have your makeup on, Mom. And so we were ready, and we went to it. He set it all up, got it done, and then he got up the next morning at 6:30 to edit it so that we could post that and share that with you all. So, you know, to see your comments and to know how much you enjoy it just makes our hearts happy, and we appreciate that. And I just want you to know, Dylan is getting paid. He's working for his mom, but he is getting paid from BrandysCards. So there is, you know, a little bit of benefit in there. It's been really, really fun. All right, so to clean these off, you guys, you know, you just kind of clean it off on the piece of paper here. We're gonna go back in with our blender pen. And here's where I'm just gonna kind of get darker, right? And that's what I really like about this, is just like we had talked about earlier, is, you know, you can kind of add some deeper color. And what I'm adding it to is, you know, some of these highlighted areas and the tips around my flower. And one thing to kind of keep in mind, if it gets too heavy, you know, kind of get it off there, and then you can kind of come back in and start to blend it again, right? So just think about that. And a little bit ago, I should have said it when I did it, but I had a lot of ink on there, and I realized, oh, I just totally had to color that whole petal because I got a little heavy on my color. But really, that's okay, because you know, flowers do have some darker petals. So don't get tripped up. Promise me that you will give this a try. And I have to tell you, you might not be totally pleased the first time or two, but I guarantee you, if you give it a try 2 or 3 times, you will find one that you love. All right, so I think I'm about done with this. I am going to just add a bit more in here, just kind of down on these kind of corners, right? When I looked at the pictures of the succulents, a lot of them had this really pretty, some of them had such a dramatic color that I loved. I just absolutely loved it. And I would recommend that for you. You know, you open up the Stampin' Up catalog, or you Google, succulents. And I'll probably be Googling chickens here soon when I start working with the chicken stamp set. So that's how you do it, right? Okay, so I think we've got that, right? I might just, now that I said that, I want to add a little more color to this one leaf here. I feel like that might balance it out just a bit more. All right, perfect. Okay, so what color should I do this one right here? Does anybody have any suggestions? So what color should this one right here be? So of course we have yellow, we have Daffodil Delight, we have oranges, we've got pumpkin pie. Amanda, what color do they think we should go with next while I put some of this away? Well,
I really think the Bermuda Bay really just popped.
Sweet. I love that. Oh, that's so cool. All right, well, how about we go?
Love the purple for the dragonfly.
Okay.
So
So maybe rich raspberry.
I think that sounds like a good.
Okay, let's do rich raspberry. What a fun color too, really. Okay, so what is it that we do? I always have a little bit of water, right? And we're gonna go over to our flour and we're just gonna add a little bit of water, not a lot. And if you get squeeze happy, you get drip drip happy and you will not be happy happy. All right, so just keep that in mind. And now with rich raspberry, it's some pretty intense color, right? So I'd say go light. You can always add more, but you can't take it away, just like cooking, right? You get heavy on the spices, well, there gets to a point where it's like, oh. So I only know that from experience, you know, where I'm like, oh, I just wanted it to be more cinnamon-y, and it was like, woo, you know. So just, you know, keep that in mind when you're, see how dark that kind of, but don't freak out, just, you know, kind of just take it and roll with it. When I did this flower, I loved the intense color kind of coming from the center of the flower, working its way kind of up. That's where I sort of really kind of liked this one. Now, when I'm touching my stamp pad, I am like just touching the tip. That is it. Like very, very, very lightly the tip, because the pigment in this rich raspberry really picks up, and you could have one big dark flower pretty quickly. So you just, you know, think light, 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 you know. So what do you guys think of that? I honestly love that. So you know, there gets to a point where it's like, okay, stop touching it. Stop, stop, stop. So, but I am just, oh, you know, this is the artist in me, just, okay, well, a little bit more here and a little bit more there. But then do you guys ever get to the point when you're like doing something like this? And so most of the project has gone well, and now you're on the last flower and you're like, oh, if I mess up now, I'm just gonna scream. I'm just gonna have to like choke somebody. That's probably where I'm at right now. I have one flower left to show you. So, okay, what color should that one be? What are some guesses of the color that I'm gonna choose for this one? So do we have any guesses? I'm gonna kind of look and see while I'm cleaning my brushes. I wonder if so we liked the purple or the rich raspberry, and we liked the granny apple green, and we have Bermuda Bay. So, okay, here we go. You guys ready for the color? I'm gonna pull in Shaded Spruce. Ah, you guys are like, what happened to the orange or to the yellow? I don't know. When I was looking at these succulents, they were so beautiful and they had so many shades of green that I just was in awe, really. So here we go. I still have some water on my, my little block, right? And I'm just going to color quickly my flower. Again, I'm just doing that so that I can add a bit of a base layer of water. Again, like rich raspberry, this is going to be a fairly intense color, so, you know, go with caution that it does get a little dark, but that's okay, right? You just have to sort of be ready for it, you know, when you start to kind of color it. So am I in a good spot for coloring here? Should I scooch up a little bit? All right, so I'm just adding a bit more color in here. And again, the same thing that I did with the other, color is I'm just picking up a bit more of that color, and I want some intense color, kind of maybe around the center, maybe some of the petals, you know, just try to play with it. You know, and try to, you know, don't be scared. Don't be scared, really. You know, I just jumped in because I thought, okay, I want to figure this out so that I can share it with you guys. And I want you to know, fully transparent, that I am not, you know, I don't know a whole lot about watercoloring, but I know that with this water brush or this water painter, I can be very artistic and make something beautiful. And I think you guys can do that too. And so, all right, so here we go. So I think I love that. I think that's pretty fantastic, really. Okay, so what do we think? Are we there? I know that took a little while, but I wanted you to see exactly how it was done so that you could see that you can recreate this. It did not, didn't take a whole lot. It took a block with some water, some little piece of scrap paper, right? Okay, so we have our succulent, and it's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I hope you all think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Okay, so let's move on and let's create a background. So I need to make sure this is clean. I have my Simply chamois here, and it looks like it's seen better days, because it has. All right, and I actually have one of our extra stamp cases, and I just keep it in that. Now, I don't close it in there necessarily because, you know, you don't want it to kind of get, you know, nasty in there, but I do put it in that case, and I do like it in that case. All right, so we're going to start with, I think what I have here is I have Pool Party. That's the color that I chose, and I'm going to take this stamp. You all know one of my favorite things to do is make my own kind of decorative background, isn't it? So we're going to take Pool Party, and I'm going to pull back in my Bermuda Bay once I find that. Okay, so Bermuda Bay. Now, I'm going to grab my scrap one. Yes, I do have a scrap one here on purpose because, well, okay, so I'm not going to show you the other side. I've already stamped on the other side. So I basically inked this up, and I stamped it the first time, and I thought that was pretty dark, and I felt like it was competing with my beautiful succulent, and that was frustrating me. So what I ended up doing is I took the Bermuda Bay and I inked it up, and so I'm going to just make sure that you all have, I'm in frame for you here, and I inked it up and I stamped it off, stamp off, and then I stamped it on here, and it just gave it, you know, because if I would have stamped it in Pool Party, on the Pool Party, it would have been beautiful, absolutely, but it's kind of light because it's Pool Party on Pool Party, and so I wasn't getting necessarily, you know, quite as a dramatic color as I wanted. So maybe that one wasn't stamped off quite enough, but it doesn't really bother me, you know, because I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to my color. So I'm going to clean this off really quick because we're going to change that here eventually, and if I don't clean it off, I'm going to forget, and then it'll be like, you know, it'll be Bermuda Bay in another color, and you know how that makes us all cranky if that happens, right? Okay, so here we go. We've got that done, and I have some other pieces over here as well. First off, I want to show you this die. It's absolutely lovely. I think anything stitched is just fantastic. So this piece right here, these dies actually frame all of, you know, these sentiments beautifully, and I think it's fantastic. I love it, and I love the stitching around it. It's just so nice, right? So what we're going to do is I picked the sentiment, "You've been on my mind," and I have it right here. You've been on my mind. We're going to add Bermuda Bay, stamp it on a piece of scrap paper, then you would frame it with your die, right? And then with the magic of TV or getting it done ahead of time, I have one already die cut for you. And then what I decided to do is I have, I've already mounted my cardstock. This is basic white cardstock. All of the sizes and the dimensions will be on BrandysCards.com. So if you're looking for the sizes, the dimensions, and that sort of thing, you're not going to find it here. I want you to sit back and I want you to enjoy my video and not worry about writing all of that down right now. You can go to BrandysCards.com and click on blog. And once you're there, you should be able to find this post. Now, if you don't find it, in the navigational bar, click videos. All my videos will come up. You'll see a screenshot of this project. So you could certainly click on that or type in Simply Succulents and it will also come up. So plenty of ways and opportunities to find it. All else fails, just send me an email. I got your back. I can help you out. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to show you this. This is scrap, but I actually stamped the pot right here. See that piece? And I colored it ahead of time. There's nothing fancy about coloring the little pot, you know, but you can color it any color that you would like, of course. You know, there's a Calypso Coral one. And so I just stamped it on scrap paper, and this is soft suede. And it was the same process that I just did, but it's brown, so it's not going to pop quite as fantastically, right? So I'm gonna bring up my example so that I have my example here. And I'm gonna flip this over. I'm gonna add some little Stampin' Dimensionals behind here. And this is my pot. I've tied some twine around it. The twine is very earthy, and I thought it was perfect. Perfect, perfect for this project. So I'm gonna set that right about, yeah, right about there. Looks pretty all right to me. Now look at that. Oh yeah. Yep, we're cooking with grease now. This is good. Oh yeah, this is good. I'm liking it. Okay, so this might be Stampin' Dimensional overkill, but I worked really hard on this, and so I wanted to stick down. So I'm going to kind of, let's see, I'm going to kind of position it right about in there, about like that. Okay, I like it. All right, so now I have my little sentiment. Oh, I get so excited when it comes together. I bet you guys do too. When you start to see it come together and you're like, oh yeah, it's pretty exciting. So I just added some liquid adhesive because I do not want this piece to feel like it has to be popped up, because then it'll be a little wonky. So there's a dimensional here so that it's the right height. Okay, what do you guys think? Do you like it? All right, I want to see some comments. Anne Marie said you liked it. Thank you. And Phyllis, wet hair, don't care, thinks it's lovely. Thank you, Mama Patty. Okay, so here we go. This is the first card. Of course, I would add, you know, I would add a piece of white, basic white cardstock on the inside, but I have so much to show you today, I decided to not do that, okay? So I'm gonna move on to the next card, and the next one is going to focus on some Granny Apple Green. So hang tight with me while I start to get my bearings and get all my parts and pieces set aside here, okay? So here what we're gonna do first is this. I have a piece of paper towel. I'm gonna bring back in my block, and I'm just gonna make sure that I am centered in here so that y'all can see me. Now, when you purchase the water painters, you know, we used to have what we called aqua painters, so you may have heard me use that term, and that was because that's what they used to be called, and they came in 2. This package actually comes in 3, and it's got this flat piece. Super fun to make some really cool backgrounds. And so I'm going to show you just something kind of fun that I was playing with. Granny Apple Green refill right here on my acrylic block. Not to worry, it's an acrylic block. You can wipe it off, rinse it off, whatever you would like. And this is going to drop water, or I can pick some water up, right? So either way, I can get some water. This is not watercolor paper. You can certainly use, you know, use watercolor paper, absolutely. But when you see what I decided to use this piece for, you'll totally understand why it didn't matter to me. So, you know, I am just adding a bit of color on here. This is a fun way to make a background. You can make an ombre background, you can make a sky, you know, you can make water, you can make all kinds of stuff, really. So but I do kind of, you know, want a little bit of darker in here, just kind of adding, you know, some color, okay? So then what I decided to do after I did that is I took my dies. Let me set this aside. I'm always a little nervous to have a thing of water. And so I took the dies and I decided, okay, I'm going to cut some little pieces out. And so these pieces are kind of some of the other little, you know, succulent pieces. This kind of reminds me a little bit of aloe vera. I don't know if that's what it is or not, but that's what it reminds me of. And so I ran this through my cut and emboss machine a couple of times. And now I could have done this on regular Granny Apple Green, right? I could have run those pieces through. But the reason that I didn't is because I kind of wanted maybe a lighter look, if you will, and one that I could kind of make a little bit darker if I chose to. So I've got, you know, I've got some of my green left on here, and I'm just taking my other water painter and just adding nothing crazy here, just, you know, making it a little bit darker where I want it a little bit darker. You could even take a sponge if you wanted and maybe just sponge some of the edges of your greenery here. I wanted some lights and darks, but I wasn't getting too tripped up, and I don't want you to either. You know, just kind of add some light and dark on there. Now, if you're like, okay, well, it's really not that dark yet, well, grab a darker green. Or I know how to make it pretty intense if I really want to, right? I mean, let's see here, pretty intense, right? So just, you know, just play with it and add some more color, and you'll kind of start to see, you know, how the two-tone sort of works, and you can kind of get, I like stuff kind of darker on the tips. You know, just kind of is fun. All right, so I think that one's to my liking. So let me kind of bring this one to life a little bit more so you can see it a little bit better. And just kind of adding, I'm going to turn it that way because I feel like I'm coloring a little bit better along my edges, you know, kind of that direction. And so there's not much water going on my aqua painter or my aqua brush here, my water brush. So, okay, so let's see, we've got that. I think I'm playing with these probably a little too much, but I'm super excited to show you the finished project. So, you know, I just have to ask for your patience, you know, while we kind of work through this here. And I think that looks pretty good. So really, I'm only going to use, probably this piece and this one, and potentially that one as well. And I am going to pull in a little bit of shaded spruce. Now, I didn't do this before, well, okay, so here we go. That's what happens when I start to get ideas. Oh yeah, see, look at that. And Amanda knows, she's over there chuckling. She's like, oh yeah, when Brandy gets an idea. So see, that just absolutely deepened that, didn't it? So that was the little tidbit I needed right there, just to add a little bit more color. Oh yeah, so nice. And so of course, now that we've done it to one, we have to do it to the other. Now this piece is actually going to kind of be in the background, so, you know, it's not going to have to be too perfect. But I do want it nice because I've taken the time to come this far. I might as well, right, just make sure that, you know, that I'm there and that I like what I've got. Okay, so there we go. I think we're good. All right, so let me show you the card and how it comes together. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to put shaded spruce aside, and I'm going to pull back out some Granny Apple Green. And I have a feeling you might know where I'm going to go with it. I've got a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock. I'm going to fold that in half, and I am going to make my background. Now the last card that we did, the background, was actually down the side, right? This background is going to be full on Granny Apple Green on Granny Apple Green, and I am going to make my way all the way around my card, okay? Not getting tripped up about the middle because you're not going to see it anyway. All right, so let's see. Do I want to mess with any of these little pieces here? Let's see. Maybe one right in here. Perfect. Okay. See how easy that was? That was easy peasy. Easy peasy. So we're going to put away Granny Apple Green. And I have this piece here, and we're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals behind it. Now today I did not do envelopes for you, and I did not put the centers on the inside because I knew that it would take me a little bit more time to color, and I thought that you would enjoy that. So I hope that you are enjoying these cards, although I know you've only seen one. I do have like more in store for you if you guys are interested. So, all right, so here we go. We're gonna add this straight to the top, and that one is You Make the Ordinary Extraordinary. Love it. This is stamped in shaded spruce. So background, Granny Apple Green on Granny Apple Green, sentiment, shaded spruce. Okay, so then what I did is I took that same pot, and remember, on the first card, what did we do on the first card? Let's take a look. So on the first card, we colored it, right? We colored that pot. So what I did is I did the same technique with the yellow, with Daffodil Delight. And what I did is I stamped my pot right on here in soft suede. And so I'm going to open that back up, show you what I mean. So I just took that and just stamped it. I'm not worried about the inside. I knew that was going to happen. Not worried about it. What I wanted to do is I wanted to get the accent from it. So I wanted to kind of get the accent that was this piece right in here. That's what I was after. That's why I wasn't too tripped up. And that's why I always save my scrap pieces when I'm crafting and I have these extra pieces and it's like, okay, that doesn't work. Well, save it because you just never know when you can use it on something else. Okay, so here I have my pot, and my idea was that was a lot of glue, yikes, was to add this piece right to the top, just like that. Okay, so I know you can't totally see it yet, but I promise you it will come to life. All right, here we go. We're gonna flip it over. We're gonna add some dimensionals right behind here. Oh, that one's gonna give me fits, so we're just gonna get a new one. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my pot, and now we're gonna have a really pretty pot of flowers. And so just be mindful that if your glue's not holding yet, that you wanna just kind of be mindful of that. All right, so there's that piece. And then what I did is I have my other two pieces, and I loved how these guys, actually, I think I may have put my dimensionals up a little high, so I'm gonna kind of pull that up a little bit. These pieces actually kind of fit together really cool. I loved them. Loved them. They kind of have these like cool like fingery things. So I'm gonna put a little bit here, and if I work quick enough, I can still wiggle them a little bit because I'm using liquid adhesive. That is why I love my liquid adhesive. Okay, so there's my little fingers there. So then what I did is I have this piece here that I thought, where do I want this one? Right in here maybe? And so this one I actually cut because I felt like you could certainly stick it in there somehow, I'm sure. But I felt like, okay, might be just a little easier to put it where I want and make it look exactly how I want it to look. Now I am the person that goes to Lowe's and buys the beautifully done pot that's already done. And then I come home and I take it out and I put it in our pots, and my husband's like, oh my gosh, you did so good. I'm like, thank you. Worked really hard on that. No, just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I don't have a green thumb, but boy, do I love flowers. Okay, so like we did earlier, I took this piece here, and just how we colored before, I colored these a second time, and I hand cut them out. And what we're going to do is we are going to put a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals right here behind this piece, and it's going to tuck right under here. And I actually kind of liked this little corner piece, these little corner pieces, to kind of be on the outside. So I'm going to kind of tuck it like that. Okay. Oh, it's coming to life, and it's so pretty. Oh, I get so excited. You guys didn't know that, right? Couldn't tell. Nobody could tell. And so this piece is going to kind of go right in there. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Oh my gosh, if you like it, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. Now only give me one thumbs up, otherwise you unthumb me up. Okay, so one thumbs up, but I would love to hear your comments and see if you like this one. Okay, so what I didn't show you on the other card was a couple of other products that we have. So we have Crystal Effects. Crystal Effects is a shimmery, kind of a glossy, gluey, shimmery type substance that gives projects kind of a shine, and it's pretty fantastic. I love it. But one thing is it does take a little bit to dry. And so, you know, I'm quite impatient. So I decided fine tip glue pen. Now one thing about this, it is shimmery, so that's nice. Not majorly shimmery, but it does have some sparkle. And it just, the tip, here, let me show you. Sometimes I don't explain things well, so let me just show you. It's just a lot harder to kind of control where it's going because it's kind of thick, right? And it's kind of got a thicker end. So what I decided to do is I pulled out the fine tip glue pen, which is a fine glue until you forget to put that thing back in there and it makes you cranky. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I decided to do is literally color my succulents, and with this nice fine tip, I can very easily color the entire succulent. And that actually kind of makes it that waxy kind of, you know, and it saturates the color even more. So the color is more brilliant, it's a little bit deeper, and I even went up on these little wispy guys. I did. And I added some of this glue to my succulents. And you know, when you do this, it takes just a few minutes to dry, and wham kabammo, you are good to go. Now do you see how it just really deepens that color? It really does. I mean, it's just extraordinary. I had to say it. Very much so. Okay, so it is so beautiful. Now while we're doing this, let's go ahead and watch the transformation with this one as well. So here we go. I am going to just kind of do a little bit. You want to get the bubbles out. Sometimes you get some bubbles if you get a little squeeze happy. But just kind of get those bubbles out. But just move around your flower, your succulent, and it just is amazing how much deeper that color gets. It really is. It's so fantastic. And I just love it. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Just think it's like the coolest thing ever, really. So cool. All right, so anyway, I will finish this flower and then I will show you what it looks like already done and already dry. So you can kind of get an idea of that. So I'm just kind of, I want to get these bubbles out because I will absolutely send this card to one of y'all, and I want to make sure that I have it where my bubbles are out. And I also want to make sure that this piece here gets back in that little piece there. Now a tip on doing it, yeah, I don't have one. Just, you know, be patient, and you got to make sure that you stick it in there. Otherwise, it will glue shut on you. You will be cranky, and you'll probably call me and say, oh my gosh, it doesn't work. Why doesn't it not work? And how do I get that to work again? So,
Brandy,
yes.
about how long do you think it takes for that fine tip glue to dry?
Honestly, it doesn't take very long at all. I mean, probably about 5 minutes or so. I mean, that's still a little tacky, and I mean, that's going to be dry here shortly. It really will. It doesn't take very long at all. And so here, let's look at this one. I'm going to kind of get up in the camera so I can see. And can you see that shine? The way the camera is, I can't actually see if you can see it or not. But that is the shimmer that. Now with Crystal Effects is going to kind of have a little bit more of a raised look to it. This is pretty flat, and it's quite shiny, really. Oh, it's just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So this one is fresh. This one is done. It's dry. Okay, so do you guys want another card? I know it's already been a little while, so should I keep on going or should I stop and wait for another time? What are they saying, Amanda? Do they want me to keep going or should I maybe stop?
Well, I could tell you they want you to stop, but then they probably beat me up because they want you to keep going.
You guys want me to keep going? Are you sure? I mean, you know, I can save it for another time if you would like, but
I think you blew a lot of people's mind with using the fine tip glue.
Yeah, they like that?
A totally different technique and effect. So.
Well, how cool is that? That makes my heart happy. All right, so
now, they were a little delayed. Now we're getting all their yeses.
They were a little okay. So they do want me to keep going.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right, I just wanted to make sure because if y'all want me to stop, I can certainly stop. Okay? So Amanda says keep going.
Yes.
Another please. Got thumbs up? Okay.
I can't even read them that fast.
Oh, is that right? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, good. So here we go. This is it's got paper in it, but this is the die that would normally go right there. Okay. Now, these magnetic cards are from Stampin' Storage. I am an affiliate for Stampin' Storage, meaning if you click on my link, I do get a little bit of commission for sharing this product with you. The reason I share it with you is not for that reason, but because I love them and I use them all of the time, and it helps me stay organized with my dies. And so a lot of times when I sell my retired dies, I actually sell them on those cards because they are that fantastic. So let me show you this. So this piece this is one of the dies in there, and this piece is pretty fantastic, right? And you just saw me pull that right out. So I'm going to put this over here because if you see what my space looks like after I do this with y'all, you'd be like, whew, wow. How did you ever find anything? And then I would say, that's a very good question. So here, this is a white piece of basic white, right? What?
Craig Boyd said that yes, we want you to keep going, and said that you're her date tonight. Or our date tonight.
Oh, thank you guys. I so do appreciate that. And I'm not sure if Miss Wendy is in here, but I know that she watches as well with her husband. And I just appreciate y'all being my biggest fans, and I appreciate y'all being here.
She's here.
Wendy is here?
Yeah, she came in late. She unfortunately had to work, so she missed the beginning, but she's definitely joined us, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, Wendy, I am thinking about you, and I am praying for you. I know you've had a hard week. Okay, so right now, what I'm going to do, I did not do anything with this little news nugget. Certainly could have, but I didn't. So moving on, that's for another day. So what we're going to do now is I have another piece, the same piece, basic white cardstock. I'm going to fold that in half. I have some washi tape. You can also use painter's tape, right? And so what we're going to do is we are going to painter's tape, washi tape this down. We don't want it to move, so I'm going to tape this down, and we're going to use our blending brush for those of you who are getting it for your host code gift for February. Just another friendly reminder that they are on back order, and I can't order them until March 29th. Might as well say April 1st, which means I have to wait for them to arrive, and I will get them out to you, okay? So I just want you to know that. But I promise you, you will love them, and they will be worth the wait, okay? So our blending brush, I think somebody emailed me and said, I want the spoons as my host code gift. I thought that was pretty cute. So this is your blending brush. I'm gonna start off, right? And then I am going to work my way on. Now, what am I doing here? I am using this piece as a stencil. So think of like how you could take some, what am I thinking of? The embossing paste, right? Take some embossing paste and do the exact same thing. You could, make that your stencil. So what I'm thinking here is I need my scrap paper back because I didn't really save myself much room. So I'm trying to get that intense color off before I start to rub it onto my, my piece here. So I am just going to spread this color around, and I can already tell you that I was actually supposed to do this on a smaller piece of cardstock. So I may have already made a little boo-boo, but really y'all didn't know that. So if I didn't tell you that, you wouldn't have known it. So it really, I guess, is not a mistake. And that's what I tell you all the time is, only you think it's a mistake. Nobody else knows. So roll with the punches. That's what we do, right? So let's see here. I might want just a little bit. What I found is sometimes in the darker areas, to add a little bit of darker just is really nice. I try to kind of focus on some of the centers of these flowers. Really nice. Really, really, really nice. Okay. So, oh my goodness, while I am doing this, I am dying to tell y'all who won the Nothing's Better Than bundle. But before I do that, Amanda.
You are such a tease.
I know, I'm not being very sweet, am I? No, but I really am. But Amanda brought me some chocolate and she said, oh, you might need some chocolate. So I'm gonna eat some chocolate like Connie does. I'm gonna have some chocolate. Like at our Creative 8 retreats, we have Gertie. Gertie, not my grandma Gertie now, but Gertie is one of our guests. She's pretty fantastic. She always does things with chocolate. And so, I still haven't told them yet, have I?
No, you have not.
Okay, so the winner is, I'm excited.
The winner is
Lynn Washer. Miss Lynn Washer, you are the winner of the bundle. I wish we had a drum roll that we could share, but I don't. But you are the winner. So if you could email me and let me know that you knew that you're the winner. Oh, did you see that? Oh my gosh. And so Miss Lynn, I'm super excited for you. And I want to show you again. This is the bundle. I'm going to send you some cards I made with it. And I want to congratulate you. And it happens that Miss Lynn is one of my customers. So I was super excited about that too. And so I just want to congratulate you and thank you for supporting me and Brandy's Cards with your business. So thank you for that. All right, here you go. Check this out. Oh my gosh, isn't that just breathtaking? Oh my goodness, breathtaking. Oh, off the charts. So nice, right? Oh, what do you guys think? So that was using it as a stencil. So here it is as, kind of the backdrop. And of course, you could take, you could make this the fun piece and add that to the card, right? There are so many things that you could do really. So I'm going to let y'all kind of look at that for a second. And do you guys like that background? Isn't that just beautiful? Oh, so, so, so nice. Okay, so after looking at cards online, or succulents I should say, one thing I was thinking about, and I'm going to pull this one back in, this one right here. One thing I was thinking about, when you look at succulents online, there are so many different colors of green shades, right? And so I thought, I am going to try to kind of, instead of making this one kind of pop as rich raspberry, how about I try to make this one kind of a shade of maybe a greenish blue as well. I'm not going to color again for you today, but I'm going to show you the card that I created using, and here, let's see if that's dry. Yeah, that glue, that fine tip glue is almost dry. So I guess it depends on how thick you get it on there, right? So here is the card. So here it is. And so this is the card with that fantastic background. And so Bermuda Bay, Pretty Peacock, and I believe this one was a bit of Pool Party, Bashful Blue, and maybe a bit of Peacock as well. So I kind of did a little bit of it all. However, what if, maybe on that next one, maybe Shaded Spruce was the way to go. I don't know. I really don't know, but I do know that I loved it. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's so cool, right? So there you have it. And so this is stamped in Pretty Peacock. Of course, that's Pretty Peacock. This, the same type of process. This one I didn't add as much depth, I suppose. I could have done a little bit more. So that's where you can kind of have fun with this and play, right? You are not limited at all. Okay, I have one more card to show you. And this one, I decided that I needed to get a bit more colorful and that I wanted to add in there some of the brighter colors. Okay, so I'm going to just set these two aside for just a second and let me look around. Oh my goodness gracious alive, I am a hot mess here. No, I have a hot mess. I'm not a hot mess, but I have a hot mess here for sure. Okay, so this one right here, this flower right here is there and stays on because watercoloring, remember that? Stays on, watercoloring, mementos, Stampin' Blends. It does matter, and it matters because you don't want your black image to run. Now, I just added, this one I didn't like how hard I pushed. I kind of got a thicker edge, so that's why I stamped it again. Gonna set that aside, and on this one, basically all of the same things that we've already been doing, but this one I used Daffodil Delight, and I also used my Mango Melody. Okay, I have to tell you, this thing, it screws the wrong way. I don't know, that's like something I would make probably. And somebody would go, now why did you do it that direction? There's probably a reason. I don't know what it is, but it trips me up. So here we go. I'm gonna just add a little bit of water and get that kind of wet. That's what we do. And then we're gonna add some yellow, also known Daffodil Delight, to that flower. And you can see I'm not getting too crazy. There is a die to cut that out. And if you don't want to see any of the color around it, well then I would recommend that you probably are a little more careful, right? And try to stay in the lines. But I'm not actually cutting this out for you today. This is Mango Melody. That's the color here. And you could take, this and, kind of play with it, have fun with it, make it a little darker. You can make it a little darker with your blender pen, right? See how that really kind of adds a bit more depth kind of in there. And so that's how you're going to get those shading. And you can see I didn't do anything that was too crazy here. I'm just kind of, just sort of adding some color. Now, I'm standing. I'm not sitting on my pot. That's right, I have pots that I sit on so that I'm tall enough. But we are working on a new craft table. So I will graduate from my pots, and I'm super excited. Yeah, I am. Very excited. So anyway, after you do that, you cut it out. Once you cut it out, I'm going to show you the card. All right, so I did 2 of those. I'm going to set these aside. And here is the last card for you today. Here you go. So this one, Daffodil Delight, Mango Melody. I tucked one right back in there as well. Bermuda Bay, Rich Razzleberry. This one is the, what did I do, like Pool Party in the balmy bluish. Although now that I'm looking at this one, I'm thinking that, whew, maybe that shaded spruce might have been a little bit even more popping, although I think it's quite gorgeous as it is. I added these fun little pieces behind as well, and this is Rich Razzleberry. That's what your layering piece is Rich Razzleberry. And then Granny Apple Green, and then of course, I added my fine tip glue pen, Shine and Sheen, yeah. Kind of has that waxy succulent look to it. It's pretty fantastic. So I'm going to show you all of my cards again, and I want to know which one is your favorite. I'm excited to hear. I can't tell you, I could not sleep. I was so excited to share these cards with you. I've been dreaming about it. I know you guys are thinking that I am a total kook, but I am, and I love this that much. So here are the 4 cards that I shared with you today, all of which everybody at home could absolutely recreate. I promise you that. You can do it. You just have to have some patience, and you just have to, just have some patience and, give it a try, really. So, but you can do it. So which one is your favorite? I am so excited to, to learn which one y'all like best. Yeah, so let me know.
Like the last one best.
The last one best. The pop on that is amazing, isn't it? It's pretty fantastic. So I am going to look down at some, hi Peggy, thanks for being in here, and Penny. Oh my gosh, hi Mary Fudge. I just had some chocolate. Hi Mary Fudge. And Cindy, Rita, you like the first one. Okay, yeah, I liked the first one a lot too. I think honestly, my favorite though, is the one with the stenciled background. I don't know why, but I think that would be an amazing wedding card, like a congratulations for like a wedding. It's just really stunning in person. So if you haven't already, if you took a sneak peek on my blog, you weren't supposed to do that. But when you're finished, all of the pictures are there. So you can go and see them up close and personal and have a look at those. All right. And so, of course, I did a tutorial for the first card that I shared tonight. But I will be honest with you, the sizes and the dimensions for this layering, these basic white layering pieces, are all the same. That's right, they're the same. And so this piece is, this layering, these two layering pieces, they're exactly the same. So I didn't feel that it was necessary that I did an actual tutorial for each one because, it's an A2 card, you cut your cardstock, and then you mat it, and you just have fun coloring, right? Have fun coloring. So I hope you had fun tonight. I know that I had a lot of fun, and I was such a hot mess before this video and was so worried because I wanted it to be perfect for you, and I wanted you to enjoy it. So after this, I am gonna have some pizza. That's right, I'm gonna dive in and I'm gonna eat me some pizza. Really excited. So I can't hardly wait for that. So congratulations again to Lynn Washer for winning the Nothing's Better Than bundle. Super excited for you, and I will get that out into the mail to you right away. Amanda and I will make sure that it gets out. I had some cards in the mail, so I received some beautiful cards the last few days, and I just want to share those really quickly with you. And this one is this one's from Lolita. And I love me some Lolita, and so she is here in North Carolina, and I just thought this was beautiful. And honestly, is this like, maybe this is eggplant. I was going to say, it's not Rich Razzleberry. It's a little bit deeper in a color, but I think maybe that's like eggplant maybe. So absolutely beautiful. This one, friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. That stamp set is amazing, and that is on my radar for sure to share with you. Miss Betty, I absolutely loved your card. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I loved the message as well. So thank you for such a sweet message on the inside. Oh, and let me show you. She actually wrote it on the back, but really, really nice. It's a beautiful card, Betty. Nice job on that. And this one is from Hester Kelly. And Hester, you do such a great job as well. I love your butterfly up here. So fun. You do a really nice job, and I love the different, the different angles and things. So very, very pretty, very colorful. So thank you for that beautiful card. And here is another fun one. This one's from Terry, and Terry is on my team, and I absolutely love your card as well. Stunning. Love how you sponged this in those soft colors. It really comes to life, and it feels very much like the beach, which we are all excited maybe to get back to one day. Now, I also want to share another fun card. This is my last card. This is from Catherine. And is Catherine in here today? Have you seen Miss Catherine? This is such a fun card, so I have to show you the envelope first. The envelope says, "A crafty friend like you is a gift." And it says, "I made this card for you because you're priceless. Even if you don't like it, please act like you do." It was hysterical. And then she stamped on here, "My doctor said I need more stamps." Yes, you need more stamps too. Just super fun. And it says, "Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above." So just some fun messages on that envelope. But let me show you her cute card. So there is her pretty card. So nice. Absolutely beautiful. And this is on that rainbow glimmer paper. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Super, super, super cool. I love your card, and I thank you so much for the kind note and for sending it to me. So thank you for that. And I have to show you one more thing. Check out the little bunny on the back with his little tail. So cute. Oh my goodness. So anyway, thank you so much for sending me your beautiful cards and creations. I love to get them, and I have to fight Amanda sometimes to open them first because she's like, "Oh, I can't wait. Let's open it. And so we get really excited. So thank you. We ooh and ah over them, and we get really excited to share them. Okay, well, if you haven't already liked my video, please do so. If you would like to leave a comment, I would be grateful for that. I do have an extra succulent bundle to give away on my next live video. And
Wait, we're giving away a succulent bundle?
I didn't tell you that?
No, is that what you just said?
Yes, of course. Yes, I have one. Yes. Yay. So, and I guess that's the first time I mentioned that. Okay, so I was keeping it a secret to see if y'all waited till the end. Because if you didn't and you jumped ship, then you didn't know. Okay, so yes, absolutely on our next live. But I want to tell you, soccer is heating up, and we're going to have some tournaments on the weekend. So I just have to ask for your patience. We will send you an email if there's going to be a live. So just watch for my email. And unfortunately, club soccer doesn't always give us that schedule like ahead of time. We kind of find out sometimes last minute. Not sure why, but at any rate, it's sort of hard to plan, and that's why we kind of go with the flow, and we ask you to roll with the punches as well. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. I love you all. Thank you for your business. Thank you for loving Stampin' Up! And creating cards as much as I do. Make sure you're sending those cards, okay? Send those cards. There's so many people that need the love and the encouragement, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. It just needs to be handmade from you, and that's a gift. That's a blessing. So make sure you get those cards out there. Thank you for joining me today. Take care, stay safe, and until next time, bye now.